This is CBC Here and Now.
Flatlining. Western Health loses its only cardiologist.
Patients' cases will need to be reviewed.
Poaching charges drop dramatically.
The impacts of this, if not addressed, are going to be fast, furious, and devastating.
Is a bureaucratic decision to blame?
I was using little pieces of wood that I had around, and I said, geez, this is a bit of a nuisance.
And that's why a West Coast entrepreneur is now selling thousands of these.
Well, spring has sprung. We're looking at a lovely day tomorrow, just ahead of a nasty system that's bringing snow and rain to the island Thursday afternoon. All the details coming up.
For the first time in our history, a woman will be the Queen's representative in this province. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau announced that his former political stalwart, Judy Foote, will take on the role of Lieutenant Governor of Newfoundland and Labrador.
Foote was this province's representative in the federal cabinet until she quit politics in 2017. As Here and Now's Janelle Kelly reports, she's already making plans for how she's going to carry out her new role.
Judy Foote announced her retirement from politics last August. At the time, she said she was compelled to spend more time with her family because of sickness, and also because she spent years traveling and working as a provincial and federal cabinet minister. Now, 7 months later, Foote has accepted a new, high-profile job. She says she took her family into consideration in accepting the appointment.
This job allows me to continue to be close to them. Otherwise, I couldn't do it because my reason for stepping down was to be close to them, and that will always be my priority.
Foote says she knows many people consider the lieutenant governor to be a ceremonial role, but she sees it as an opportunity to advocate for issues like mental health and literacy. And as the first female to hold the position in our province's history, she plans to send a strong message to young women.
I always say it's not that women do things better, is that we do things differently based on our experiences. So I think it's the time is right. It's also right because it sends a good message to other young women and girls.
In a formal announcement this morning, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau said he's confident Foote will serve the public with passion and commitment. Premier Dwight Ball says he's proud to see her appointed as our first female representative of the Queen. Since retiring, Foote has collected provincial and federal pensions from her time in politics. She addressed that question today.
You cannot double dip.
That's true.
So my salary will be the salary that comes with the job.
Outgoing Lieutenant Governor Frank Fagan hosted one of his final events today as he and the RNC recognized 9 of its members with Police Exemplary Service medals. If you're wondering how Judy Foote was selected as Lieutenant Governor, the Prime Minister's office says there's no formal selection process. The appointments are made by the Governor General's office on the recommendation of the Prime Minister. Typically, in this province, Lieutenant Governors serve a term of 5 years, but that can be extended. Janelle Kelly, CBC News, St. John's.
The only full-time cardiologist on the West Coast has quit. Now Western Health is scrambling to help patients in need. Here Now's Colleen Connors has the details on the temporary plan for patients who have heart problems, and she joins us live. Colleen, why did this cardiologist decide to quit?
Well, Dr. Ishmael was on holidays when he decided he had had enough. He sent his resignation letter to the staff at Western Health in February when he was off on 6 weeks of leave. Now, the staff at Western Health do not know why he decided to quit, but they do say that the cardiologist, the full-time position on the West Coast, is a very cumbersome position with long hours, a long list of patients, and they work from early in the morning till quite late at night each day. So what is going to happen to all of his patients? That's the big question. Western Health says it will ensure they get the care that they need until another full-time cardiologist is hired. Other doctors can help with certain things like stress tests or echocardiograms at the hospital there in Corner Brook. And of course, there is some help coming this summer.
We have recruited general internal medicine, a new grad from Memorial who has done extra training and subspecialty training in general internal medicine, who will be able to do some of what Dr. Ishmael has done. We have 2 physicians in the community that have slowed their practice down but are continue to practice and will help out. And we also have locum coverage coming in between now and at least the summer.
Well, the goal now is to have Dr. Ishmael return for a short period of time and go through his long list of patients to determine who needs a follow-up appointment or certain types of treatments. Now, some of those follow-up appointments will be done by family doctors, but certain treatments will have to be done in St. John's. Live in Corner Brook, I'm Colleen Connors for Here and Now.
The community of Nain is mourning the loss of a 14-year-old boy and worrying about a possible tuberculosis outbreak. Gussie Bennett's family says doctors told them they were treating the teen for TB. The 14-year-old was flown to the Janeway Hospital in St. John's over the weekend, where he died. An autopsy is being conducted, and the health authority says it can't comment until that's done. 3 years ago, someone in northern Labrador died from TB. Leaders in Nain say there's been a lot of work to counter the disease, so they're anxiously awaiting answers.
Tonight, our CBC Investigates team uncovers some startling new details about inland fishery violations in this province. Here and Now has reported extensively on how wild salmon are in trouble. As investigative producer Rob Antle reports, the number of charges is way down, sparking concern about the impact on efforts to prevent poaching.
It's like a scene from a tourism ad, casting a line for that elusive catch. Salmon fishing is a big industry with big stakes, and now potentially a big problem.
The impacts of this, if not addressed, are going to be fast, furious, and devastating, in our opinion.
These salmon may be jumping, but the number of charges against poachers is not. Violations are down, way down. Provincial enforcement officers laid 31 charges this past year for inland fishery violations. The year before, the number was 195. That's a drop of more than 84%.
We're amazed at those numbers. We're more amazed that the government is not amazed.
Fewer charges means fewer seizures from poachers, taking boats, motors, and illegal nets. The Salmon Preservation Association believes a key bureaucratic decision is behind the big drop. A year ago, enforcement was moved from Justice to Fisheries. John McCarthy says dysfunction was the result.
I think that fair to say that he still is convinced that there is an issue with the department when the facts don't line up with that.
The province's fisheries minister steers questions about the big drop in charges laid by his department to a familiar foe, Ottawa. DFO, he says, laid just 8. And federal policies, Burns says, had negative results for this province's rivers. Fewer fishermen, fewer fish, meaning fewer violations spotted.
There was a lot less fish in the rivers. When you have less fish, you have a lot less activity. When you have a lot less activity, you have a lot less violations. It's kind of the old analogy. You don't put your hand in the cookie jar when there's no cookies to grab.
I believe the first step is for government to acknowledge that there is a problem. If they acknowledge it, then we deal. We find out what are the solutions.
The province will look for those solutions, Jerry Burns says, by working to get a better arrangement with the feds. Rob Antle, CBC News, St. John's.
The fate of 7 trapped dolphins has gripped people in the Heart's Delight Islington area. This weekend, the dolphins were driven into the harbor by advancing sea ice. Now, the dolphins are stuck in a small area of open water next to the town wharf. Here now, Zach Gowdy was there today.
It's beautiful and sad all at once. 7 white-beaked dolphins swimming together near the wharf in Heart's Delight, Islington. There's nowhere else they can go.
It's hard. It's just hard to watch. And I'm a lover of dolphins. Big time lover.
The dolphins have been trapped by sea ice in an area of open water near the wharf. They've been drawing a crowd, many of whom are keen to help out.
They got a bit more freedom this evening. This morning now they were pretty jammed up there. They were poking up through the ice trying to get some room, so we had a young fellow there, Tim Sully, came in with his boat and broke up the ice there, and they got a bit of room to move around now, so they're doing pretty good there now.
But that may be the most that people can do. DFO officers and the Provincial Whale Release and Strandings Group are monitoring the dolphins, but the harbor is too shallow for an icebreaker, and the ice is so thick that any opening would likely close up before the dolphins could pass through.
It's a hard one because what really needs to happen is the wind to change, and hopefully it's going to go east and is strong and breaks up this ice. So that's like nature took them in there, and hopefully the nature will cooperate to take them out.
For now, a steady stream of people are keeping watch, snapping pictures, and hoping for the best.
It's nice to see them up close, as it's sad to know that they're trapped and if they're not going to be able to get out. Terrible. Terrible.
Yeah, it's a little heartbreaking, but for now they're safe. Let's hope that it stays that way and the wind turns tomorrow.
Well, as long as those dolphins are here, they will have plenty of company, but even the people who are enjoying the show would much rather see those dolphins swim away. Zach Gowdy, CBC News, in Heart's Delight, Islington.
Beautiful animals, but as Zach said, of course, everyone would like to see them beyond that ice, and the fate of those dolphins possibly depends on a change in the wind.
Okay, as you can see, Carolyn is here. What are you seeing when it comes to winds?
Well, it looks like the winds are going to change late tomorrow night. The question is, will it be enough to move that ice out? Yeah, so we'll have to wait and see about that. But let's have a look at these winds here. So here we are with that southwesterly wind. Heart's Delight is right around here. So you can see those arrows pushing. You can see how it would push the ice into the harbor there. So by the time we get to tomorrow night, around midnight, you can see that those arrows change direction. So it'll go to a northeasterly wind. So hopefully that will be enough to help those dolphins out and move that pack ice out. As for how the weather is looking, well, today is the first day of spring. Tomorrow, first full day of spring, and it's turning out to be a really nice looking one. We have lots of sunshine for the entire island tomorrow. Chance of flurries for some areas early in the morning. Should clear off during the day. Chance of flurries as well for coastal Labrador. So things are looking great tomorrow. Things change though Thursday afternoon. We have a special weather statement in effect, and that's because of this system that's going to be heading towards the southern part of the island. Thursday afternoon, it's going to bring snow, it's going to bring freezing rain, and it's going to bring rain. So I'll give you all those lovely details coming up later.
I've come to beautiful Twillingate to meet a man who was involved in the fishery for 7 decades.
If this was back 25, 30 years ago, I'd be talking to you every day. I'd be able to see him.
He's got quite a few stories to tell. How does your wife put up with you? That's the real question.
Well, I slipped down to put it to bed a few times.
That's coming soon on Here and Now.
There are small fish, and we're seeing them in smaller numbers. The amount of capelin in the waters off Labrador is down 70%. Scientists say the numbers are down because of environmental factors and late spawning, not because of the commercial fishery. But Nunatuavut President Todd Russell disagrees. He says people in southern Labrador have noticed capelin are smaller than usual and look unhealthy. So Nunatuavut is calling on the government to take action.
The action we have recommended is to suspend the commercial capelin fisheries for a period of time until we can fully look at the science, fully integrate, in our case, Southern Inuit knowledge, to do more science. And these are very, very important steps that we need to take to preserve the capelin, yes, but also to protect other fish species that depend on the capelin.
From calling for a halt to the commercial capelin fishery to getting into Arctic surf clams, Nunatuavut is busy. It's one of the Atlantic Indigenous partners that was just awarded the lucrative and controversial surf clam quota. It's the only group in this province to get a piece of that pie. Clearwater Seafoods held a monopoly on the quota with a processing plant in Grand Bank. The Fisheries Minister is asking Ottawa to reverse that decision, saying the whole process was wrong.
I would hope that nobody would posit that the only way that Grand Bank is going to be sustainable is if Clearwater Seafoods maintain their monopoly on the Arctic surf clam fishery. I don't think anybody is saying that. But I believe that the concern of the province needs to be sorted out with Clearwater.
Searchers in Labrador located a missing snowmobiler late this afternoon. Search and rescue volunteers from Hopedale and Notwashish found the man in the Flowers Bay area at 4:30 this afternoon. He was one of 4 men who left Hopedale around supper time Sunday, heading to Notwashish. They were all later reported missing. 2 of them were located safe and sound yesterday afternoon, and a third, who needed medical attention, was found just before midnight last night.
The waiting game continues for students, parents, and staff at Bishop Field Elementary. A report about the school's structure was expected this month, but the school district now says the review isn't quite ready. The downtown St. John's School has been closed for about 6 months now after part of the concrete ceiling in the gym collapsed. Now that section of ceiling has been removed and engineers are scanning and testing the concrete. Students have been going to the old school for the deaf in the West End ever since, and it looks like they're going to be there a little while longer.
Well, Newfoundland and Labrador's population may be the fastest aging in the country, but internationally, that title goes to Japan.
And in an effort to lessen the effects of a demographic tsunami, businesses are turning to robotics. Here Now's Adam Walsh has the details from Tokyo.
Kenji Takemura has been lifting boxes his whole career. Trip after trip can take a toll as the years go by. That special device he's wearing is supposed to help lighten the load. He says the machine cuts the weight in half. I'm going to retire in 5 years' time, and this machine will permit me to stay on the job until then, he says.
If you didn't know about it already, looking around Japan's bigger cities like here in Tokyo, you'd be hard-pressed to realize there's a demographics issue. But the reality is Japan's got a labor shortage, it's got an aging and a shrinking population, and it's trying to deal with it.
So that's why owners of this freight company are investing in ways to keep their people on the job. Takemura's device is one step, but the company director says there are plans for more that will even help people's arms with lifting. The device being worn in Osaka was designed at this lab. Its engineers have some big plans. This is their prototype. The company sees Japan's demographic mess as a business opportunity. The developer hopes a version of this will be lifting pipes and heavy materials within 3 to 5 years, he says. In this land where baby diapers are being outsold by adult ones, a shift is also coming to healthcare. At this care home on the edge of Tokyo, many of the patients have dementia. In Japan, it's a crisis that's growing. Estimates are that by year 2025, 1 in 5 seniors will have dementia. Growing care needs, coupled with the growing labor shortage, has facilities looking for a robotic assist. This little guy is Toyota's human support robot. We often hear about labor shortages in nursing care facilities. This support robot is designed to help out with that, he says. Director Hideki Takubo says we shouldn't think that robots will replace us, but they can play a key role in providing care. An example is this little companion robot. He's been around for a few years now and is a hit with residents. Could the same robotic technology that Japan is testing work in Canada? Toyota is bringing its human support robot to an international competition in Montreal this summer. After that, maybe a care home near you. Adam Walsh, CBC News, Tokyo.
That's fascinating.
Yeah, we always think of automation as something that's going to replace us, but the Japanese obviously looking at how it can
augment
have us
our
working
duties.
until we're in our 90s. So it's great news all around.
It's nice to see Adam Walsh reporting for us
Yeah.
all the way from Tokyo.
Love the hat.
Jessica Hepner landed in St. John's 3 years ago. She hasn't been seen since.
So real theory, I do not have a real theory.
She traveled the world, and in May of 2015, Jessica Hepner touched down in St. John's. Her trip wasn't meant to be long, just a few days. But when police opened the door to her hotel room, all they found was half-packed suitcases. The 21-year-old Ontario woman was missing. The big question is, did she ever leave the island? Here now's Ariana Kelland brings us episode 3 of Last Seen.
May 25th, 2015. Jessica Hepner arrives in St. John's from a flight from Halifax International Airport. She takes a taxi to the Sheraton Hotel in St. John's. But why was she here? And more importantly, where did she go?
There's no flight records to suggest she's left.
Police emergency.
3 days after Jessica Hepner came to St. John's, a call came into the Royal Newfoundland Constabulary in St. John's.
And when was Jessica last seen?
A man named Norbert Kaza says he was traveling with the 21-year-old. He returned to Ontario. Jessica Hepner did not.
It was a phone call that was made between him and a civilian member in our communications centre. We tried to follow up on the phone numbers he provided, unsuccessfully.
At the Sheraton Hotel, they tell police Jessica Hepner had booked one night there. The next day, the 26th, she reserved another night's stay. But Jessica Hepner would never return to sleep there a second night.
The fact that she was a missing person, we gained entry to the hotel room, at which time we found 2 suitcases and a laptop with her personal belongings. They're more or less the exact same way as they're portrayed right now. One was nicely packed, the other one was like it was just thrown back into the suitcase.
She also left behind this, a laptop and her IDs.
There were some emails and some other information there, but there was nothing that was relevant to our missing person investigation. Nothing, as a result, could assist us in locating Jessica Hepner.
So where did Jessica Hepner go? Police say she left the hotel and got a cab to Topsail Road in Paradise. She was meeting a friend at a house. This is where she was last seen.
At the time Jessica was here in St. John's, based on information we received, we believe that she was using at least 2 prepaid cell phones. She was not the subscriber. We believe the subscriber's name was fictitious. The addresses associated to these prepaid cell phones, we believe are also fictitious.
A week or so after she was reported missing, one of those cell phones was used in Ontario. CBC has learned Hepner may have been involved in the sex trade. Whether or not that was her reason for coming here is unknown. And if she caught a plane out of St. John's, there's no record of it.
There's no flight records to suggest she's left. However, one of the countries that we believe she visited prior to being in Newfoundland was Germany. At the time she was here in St. John's, we believe she was using at least 2 prepaid credit cards. And in July of 2015, one of those credit cards were used in a transaction in Germany.
On the mainland, her family is worried. No matter where she was, Jessica would always check in. It's been 3 years now, and they haven't heard a thing.
There are warrants outstanding for her in other provinces. I have no information to even suggest that she met with foul play here in St. John's. So real theory, I do not have a real theory. Is it possible that she traveled elsewhere and left St. John's? Yes, I think that's a very high possibility.
Later on Here and Now, I'm going to tell you about a business story here on the west coast of Newfoundland. A man is hoping to strike a major deal with barbecue scrapers.
Welcome back, everyone. And we were just talking off camera about the beautiful weather that's coming. And it is a special day tomorrow, the first
full day of spring. We had the switch over earlier today, but tomorrow is the first full day of spring, and it kind of looks like it. Temperatures are a little bit cool, but overall it's looking like a really nice day tomorrow.
Lovely.
So let's have a look at your weather on the way headline. So as I just said, tomorrow, first full day of spring, a beauty day coming. Lots of sunshine for most areas of the province. Then things switch over to quite a messy Thursday and Friday, and with that will bring some wind to the west coast. So we still have this winter storm warning in effect for the Hopedale to Makkovik area. Winds not as strong as they were, 50 to 70 kilometers, another 5 to 10 centimeters of snow expected tonight, but that should taper off and start to clear away by tomorrow. So you can see that for tonight we have lots of flurries on the island, lots of flurries in Labrador, of course that heavier snow in the Makkovik area, but then things will start to clear off tomorrow. So yes, a chance of flurries for most areas tonight. Winds fairly breezy, 30 to 60 coming from the southwest in the east. So yeah, lots of flurries. Cold temperatures in Lab City, -12 as the low tonight. So Wednesday is looking just great. You can see how things are just starting to clear off. Temperatures around 1 or 2 degrees on the island, and we will still have some flurries there along coastal Labrador, but overall it's looking like a really nice day. Chances some flurries in the southern area in the morning, but it should clear off, and then we're looking at lots of sunshine in the east, lots of sunshine for central areas, getting up to 3 degrees in Gander, Grand Falls, Windsor, and for the west coast, a chance of some morning flurries as well there, but that should clear off. Same story up in the Straits. Could see some morning flurries, but then it should clear off nicely. A little bit more persistent flurries along the coast there, but overall looking like a great day for Labrador as well, with some nice light winds. So then we do have this special weather statement in effect, and that's for Thursday afternoon. So you can see this system heading our way Wednesday evening, and it'll make landfall on Thursday afternoon. It'll bring that band of snow, freezing rain, and rain. Similar story that we've seen really all winter long. Same kind of system, lots of snow there. So we don't have amounts yet, but yeah, we'll have a closer look at the long range a bit later. Anthony.
Thanks, Carolyn. To a Newfoundland small business story on the West Coast now. A man in the Humber Valley saw an opportunity because of a dangerous health hazard in the barbecue industry. Jason Jane says what started out as a hobby then quickly grew, and now he's not just the chief executive officer, he's also the chief scraper maker. Jason, the juniper barbecue scraper, where'd you get the idea for this?
Well, we hear on the news all the dangers of using bristle brushes for cleaning barbecues. The little bristles come off, get stuck on your grill, get caught in the food, end up ingesting them, caught in your throat, things of that nature. Yes. Surgeries occur. Health hazard. Health hazard. It's really, really, really bad.
Okay.
So the first thing I'll say is toss your wire brush right away. Get rid of it.
Of course, you have a self-interest in that.
Yeah, yes, I do.
You turned this into kind of a family business. Tell me about that.
Did. So last May, I was getting ready to clean my barbecue, and I was using little pieces of wood that I had around, and I said, geez, this is a bit of a nuisance. So I called up my dad and I said, do you have a piece of juniper? And he said, yeah, I got some juniper up here. So yeah. I have some juniper up here. So I went up to Deer Lake, picked up a piece of juniper from my dad, came back, and I shaped it into what I thought would be good for cleaning the barbecue. Right. And this is the basic design that we came up with for the scraper. Yep. And now, that's how it came about.
As you know, some of your competitors on the mainland, they use cedar. Why juniper?
Yeah, well, first off, I mean, juniper, it's just so beautiful. Every single piece is unique. It's like a piece of art. Secondly, juniper has a very high heat resistance. Okay. So when you use it on your barbecue, it doesn't burn as fast, meaning it will last longer than a cedar barbecue scraper will. Also, there is no such thing as Newfoundland cedar. You know, it doesn't exist here. This is a local product.
That's right.
If it's cedar, it's imported.
Now, how do you sell these?
So we sell them online via the juniperbarbecuescraper.com website, but mostly we sell them through retail outlets. So if you go to places like the Bee's Knees, Coleman's
stores in Newfoundland.
Yeah, all the beautiful stores in Newfoundland that support me. They're fantastic. I love them. So we have 60 retail outlets now throughout Newfoundland, and we're hoping to announce real soon a national distribution with one of the big chains.
Now, you started this as a kind of a small thing with your family. Did you expect to sell many of these things?
No, when we started this, I will use the phrase, it started as a little bit of a, not a joke, it was serious, but I didn't...
A lark.
A lark, yeah, that's a good word to use for it. So I made it, I posted it online and said, hey, anyone want a juniper barbecue scraper? Yeah. I then got on a plane and left and went on vacation for 2 weeks. When I came back, I had hundreds of orders.
Right. How many did you sell last year?
We sold just shy of 5,000.
5,000, that's pretty good.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
And you've got a bigger goal.
Yeah, we're aiming for 25,000 units this year. And if this national contract comes through, we met that already.
All right, we'll keep our fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Now back to the family. Is it true you had to lay off your father?
Yeah, so November got really busy, so my dad stayed on through October, November, but we wound down really quick then, so I laid him off. He'll be coming back on payroll pretty soon.
How did he take it when you had on the pink slip?
He was happy. Yeah, he's already retired, so this was a favor.
Okay. Yeah. Well, listen, all the best, and keep hearing now posted about the national deal.
Yeah, and make sure that Ryan uses a wooden barbecue scraper, because we don't want him choking on the ear, especially from a bristle brush.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
You get the feeling he could do an infomercial.
Oh, he's perfect for sales.
Yeah. Now you heard him mention that I'm supposed to give this to Ryan, but I happen to know for a fact that Ryan already has one of these, and Karen Stokes is a big fan of like 12-ounce steaks on a nightly basis, so I'm going to give it to you.
Oh, why, thank you very much.
Yeah. It is also the value that actually meets the CBC ethics criteria, so it's completely legit.
I'll be daydreaming about barbecuing. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe we can barbecue tomorrow.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
Forecast looks good.
Looks good.
I think there's a very positive milestone outcome.
The Sheshatshiu Innu Nation gets a new youth home. Well, it's been the subject of a lot of concern in Sheshatshiu, children being sent out of the community for foster care. Now a new group home is set to open in Sheshatshiu for older children returning from outside the province. Eugene Hart is the chief of the Sheshatshiu Innu First Nation. Chief Hart, thanks very much for joining us.
Thanks very much for the invite, Debbie.
What sort of facility are you opening up, and who's it aimed at?
We're opening up a level 4 home at the Sheshatshiu Innu Group Home, right in Sheshatshiu itself. The young people that's going to be here are between 12 to 18.
Yeah. Now, how long have they been living out of province? And Chief, what might have been lost during that time?
I would say that these kids were in discussion about have been away from home from between 8 to 10 years.
So some of these children then will be perhaps in foster care for 8 years.
Yes.
What has that potentially done to them?
I would say, speaking as a chief and as a foster parent myself, speaking from experience, I would say there's a big loss in culture and majority language and where they're from, their identity.
Now, I understand there are 20 to 30 youth in care outside the province, but how many are you going to be able to take in at the group home?
We will be able to take eight to start off.
And is there a particular young person you're looking for? What's the criteria?
Well, they could be a family or siblings, like we try to keep them together. And hopefully, like as soon as this transition to level 4 passes through the province, we will be starting to fly them back home to our own community where they're from and where they belong.
Now, what services will you be providing to these young people once they do get here?
Well, we've been having training with Blue Sky through St. John's. They did our training for our staff. There's 22 staff that's being in training now for CIS training, first aid, and we have a social worker on staff as well, that's certified social worker. And basically, all the staff that we're training is from Sheshatshiu itself.
So what kind of a difference do you think this home is going to make for the young people who go there with all these services and for their families who are right there in Sheshatshiu?
I think that's going to make a huge difference in both child and parents, because we do have our own prevention workers in Sheshatshiu on board now. That's through SIFN. And the staff, they'll be working with the parents and the group home, and just the transition itself will blend in as they go.
And Chief Hart, just finally, last year you and other chiefs held protests. You lobbied the provincial and federal governments for more resources for foster care in the home communities. How satisfying is it to be on the verge of having this home in Sheshatshiu?
I think with everyone's help around us with Nations to Nation, I think there's a very positive milestone outcome what we're going to mark on April 1st.
Chief Hart, thank you very much, and we will be following the progress of this new home.
Thank you, Debbie.
So Anthony, the chief, added something else that's happening in the community, and of course everyone will remember our coverage of the provincial Winter Games just a week ago. Well, Team Indigenous was a first-time entry in that competition.
And the community is so proud of them that it's going to hold a big celebration Thursday night to say congrats to everybody that was involved. It's a great positive story from
Absolutely.
There, right? It's not kiddie porn. This is child sexual assault images.
More from our Stealing Innocence series and the importance of the words we choose.
It is time now to introduce you to our young athlete of the day, and tonight our athlete comes to us from Hare Bay.
Here's Braden Collins. He's 10 years old and he plays hockey with the Glovertown Tornadoes at the Atom level.
Well, we hope you had a great season, Braden. Congratulations on being today's young athlete of the day.
The weather update is brought to you by Belltone Hearing Service St. John's, helping the world hear better.
Well, now that Carolyn has a barbecue implement, the question is, will it be okay to barbecue? I love barbecuing in the winter.
Me too.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, if you're going to barbecue, tomorrow might be, it's going to be a bit chilly, but we're looking at lots of sunshine tomorrow. So
that'll make the difference. And supper time, it's still light, which is lovely.
Yeah, so let's have a look at how things are shaping up for tomorrow. It's looking like a gorgeous day. Chance of flurries for some areas along the south coast and along the west in the morning, but things should start to clear off. Then we're looking at a largely sunny day, particularly in central Newfoundland, with some nice temperatures around, you know, between 1 and 3 degrees, so not too bad at all. Looking at a chance of flurries in southeastern Labrador in the morning. That should clear off as well throughout the day. A little bit more persistent flurries along the coastline there. Cooler temperatures, but overall looking like a nice Wednesday for sure. Then we have a change, a special weather statement in effect for Thursday afternoon, affecting the island first. We have this system that is moving up, hitting the south coast of the island around 2 o'clock on Thursday. You can see this band of snow to start. Then we'll have some freezing rain, and those winds are going to start to ramp up. 75 there in Port aux Basques, so wind is particularly going to be an issue on the west coast. Then we're going to start seeing a change over to some rain and freezing rain throughout Thursday evening into Friday, not affecting Labrador until Friday. So yes, Thursday is looking great for Labrador, a mix of sun and cloud pretty much everywhere. And on the island we have more of a chance of snow for west and central areas, and then in the east there's that mix of rain and snow. So Thursday night into Friday, you can see some of that snow moving up into southeastern Labrador, and that real changeover to rain here in the east, and heavier snow here along the northern peninsula and northeastern part of the island. So yeah, that will persist there until Friday afternoon, move farther into Labrador, and those showers will continue here in the east. So yeah, we could have rain showers, we could have some flurries. Temperatures not too bad, a high of 2 degrees in the east, could get up to 5 in central areas. So it'll be fairly mild on Friday afternoon, and periods of snow there in eastern Labrador, chance of flurries in the west. So a quick look ahead to the weekend. We're looking at some flurries there on the island for Saturday afternoon, looking pretty nice there in Labrador, and also chances of some flurries here in the east on Sunday. So here's the 7-day. As you can see, those chance of flurries there for Saturday and Sunday, and we could get some clearing there as we head into Tuesday. Looks like lots of sunshine there, so hopefully that will hold. And as well for Labrador, looking like a decent weekend there with lots of sunshine that will continue as the work week begins.
Tonight on our Stealing Innocence series, Here and Now analyzes the words that we use to define child sexual exploitation. Words make a big difference in how we see this issue. Ramona Deering speaks with Angela Crockwell with Thrive, as well as with Leslie McLeod with the Coalition Against the Sexual Exploitation of Youth.
So I think we should get right to it. Leslie, if I say kiddie porn or child porn, well, how do you react?
It makes me extremely angry, because that puts it into the realm of pornography, choice, adults buying something that they're entitled to. It's not kiddie porn. This is child sexual assault images or child sexual abuse images. This is violence perpetrated against children in the worst, horrible way that anyone could imagine. So it makes me very angry to hear the wrong language applied to it.
All right, Angela, let me try one of these on you. If I say child prostitute, your reaction?
Oh, yeah, it's really, really inappropriate, because I think, again, we are then, you know, when we think of prostitute is actually an inappropriate word to apply to anybody, but particularly a child. That is always a child who is experienced in sexual exploitation or human trafficking, and it's not prostitution.
If we use the word human trafficking, I think a lot of people would say that doesn't happen here. You, Leslie, would say
it happens here every day. Human trafficking isn't stealing people from other countries and putting them in chains and bringing them to another country to do something they don't want to do. Human trafficking is selling a person for either labor or sexual activity when they don't want to be involved with this. It's about literally selling people, keeping the money, and controlling the individual that you're selling. And it happens here every day.
And can you give us examples of how it may play out?
A fella could groom a young girl to be his girlfriend and then manipulate her into having sex with his drug buddies in exchange for some money in his hands. She has now just been trafficked.
Now, Angela, I think some people might say, why do we need to pay so much attention to language when we don't have such a big problem here in Newfoundland and Labrador with child exploitation?
Well, I think our words really do matter, and how we then respond is really reflective of how we interpret what's happening. So when we use language like kiddie porn or child sex workers, then our community response is really different than if we actually really understand the vulnerability and the abuse that's happening to people. So our words really do matter, and they impact the people we're talking about profoundly.
And that statement that I made, that it's not such a big problem here in Newfoundland and Labrador, is that something you might challenge?
Oh, I would definitely challenge that. Again, as Leslie said, this happens every day, and we need to be really aware and really in tune with that. Because again, if we're not looking for it, we don't see it, we're missing victims all the time.
And we think of an exchange of money when we think about young people involved in the sex trade. That's not always happening, right? So can you edify us about some of the other scenarios that people need to be aware of?
Yeah, so, people it doesn't have to be money. It can be a place to stay. It can be a cab ride. It can be access to drugs. Money definitely does not have to exchange hands.
And how common is that?
Again, I think it's extremely common, and certainly here at Thrive, we're hearing stories like that on a daily basis. I just think this is such an important topic, and it's so pervasive in our province. And the other thing I would add is this is not a St. John's issue. This is happening in every corner of our province. So all of our citizens need to be in tune with this.
And thanks to Ramona Deering for that item. Now, tomorrow, another part in our Stealing Innocent series will bring you the story of one woman who was sexually exploited and then put out on the street at the age of 16, and we'll also look at her path to recovery.
Well, here's a look at today's viewer picture of the day. Any ideas where this was taken?
Whoville?
Not quite. I'll give you a hint. It's in Labrador.
Okay.
And this area is under a winter storm warning right now.
Okay.
Is that another community farther along the coastline there?
Time to Google Labrador storm warning. Hopedale.
Close. I'll have the answer up next.
Welcome back to Here and Now. Well, a man in Regina had an unexpected visitor this weekend, a really cute one. He came home to find a great horned owl perched on a lampshade in his living room.
And what happened was this magnificent bird had crashed through the apartment window, apparently while hunting a pigeon. The bad news, pigeon didn't do so well and didn't survive, but the owl is okay, although she did suffer some minor injuries to her head and her feet.
A local wildlife volunteer got the bird and took her to a rehab center. In a few days, she'll be released back into her natural habitat.
Looks like
outdoors.
It's almost looking for the remote there.
They are so beautiful, aren't
Gorgeous animal. I wonder if the wildlife officer brought the pigeon because the owl went after the pigeon, but did he actually eat the pigeon?
No, well,
no,
we saw the remains. You missed it.
When it smashed
there,
through the window.
see?
Okay.
Yeah, I think when it went through the glass,
that's nature.
Couldn't.
I don't want Carolyn to cry.
Yes,
Poor pigeon.
It is nature, but they are such magnificent creatures.
Well, speaking of nature, here's a beautiful natural shot. This is our viewer picture of the day. Coming up, there we go. Beautiful shot. Does not look like that, I would imagine, right now in Makovic.
Oh, I was off.
There is a winter storm warning in effect there this evening, and it's been kind of nasty there for the past few days, so I think this was taken a few days ago. A beautiful sunset.
Yeah, it might have been when somebody's coming back on a snowmobile, because that's taken outside of town quite a ways, right?
Yeah.
Quite a bit of snow there.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Robert Anderson, for sending that in.
You can breathe the air. Look at the sky.
Gorgeous.
Very nice.
So you're always looking for pictures, of course, to Ryan's Facebook.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Anyone has any pictures of anywhere in the province, we would love to see it, especially now that spring is here. I'm really hoping we'll get to see some.
And the next time some monstrous bird of prey flies through your kitchen window with another animal, send that one too. We like those as well. Nature's beautiful.
Oh. And yeah, so I guess we'll all enjoy the nice weather that's coming tomorrow and hunker down for what's coming on Thursday and Friday. So I guess get out and enjoy tomorrow.
And we're all going to your place for a barbecue.
Woohoo!
Thanks for being with us, everyone. Great bit of fun, and enjoy the evening and tomorrow, because as Carolyn says, it's going to be gorgeous. And see you back here at 6 tomorrow.
Okay, see you then.
Good night.